Mao Zedong's son died from fried rice. Hello, everyone. My name is Mao Zedong. Not many people know me, but I am the eldest son of Mao Zedong. My father, Mao Zedong, was married 4 times in his life and left 4 children. 2 boys and 2 girls. His first wife, Yang Kai-hui, became the mother of my younger brother, Mao Anqing, and me. This photo shows my mother, my brother, and me. My mother was the daughter of Mao Zedong's teacher, but she supported Mao's communist activities through an underground organization. However, we did not live together. My mother lived in Changsha, Hunan Province, and my father worked for the Chinese Communist Party in Jiangxi Province. My brothers and I grew up barely knowing our father's face. In 1930, when I was 8 years old, my mother was captured by Chiang Kai-shek's National Army. At that time, my mother was told that her life would be spared if she divorced Mao Zedong and made a statement criticizing him, but she refused, and she was shot to death. My brother and I, who were 8 and 7 years old, fled to Shanghai and lived on the streets there. At that time, the Chinese Communist Party was closely aligned with the Soviet Communist Party. A Soviet Communist Party member found my brother and me, who were living a vagrant life in Shanghai, and sent us to the Interdome in Moscow. The Interdome was a facility that accepted the children of Communist Party members who were active overseas. I was educated there and served as an artilleryman on the Soviet side in Poland during the German-Soviet War. After World War II, I worked as a Chinese and Russian interpreter in Russia, but returned to China with my brother and joined the Chinese Communist Party in Beijing. The Korean War began in 1950, and the United Nations forces led by the United States approached the Chinese border, cornering North Korea. At that time, my father, Mao Zedong, sent 1 million communist troops to the Korean War and appointed his childhood friend Peng as the leader. I served as a Russian interpreter and participated in the battle as Peng aide. During the Korean War, I was on the front line, and at that time, I came across some precious eggs. I was thrilled to make egg fried rice with my friends. While I was cooking, the American Army noticed smoke coming out and fired napalm bombs at the spot. That's how I died in battle. My father, Mao Zedong, was not at all upset when he heard the news of my death in battle. I was his eldest son, but he hardly knew me, so he probably didn't have any affection for me. I served as an aide to Peng Dehuai, a very talented general. My father, Mao Zedong, and he were from the same hometown and were close in age. He was a general who often spoke casually to Mao Zedong. He also had a friendly side, talking to ordinary soldiers on the front line without discrimination. He was the head of the Chinese military that participated in the Korean War, but he did not get along well with Kim Il-sung of North Korea. Kim could not predict the intervention of the U.S. military, and Peng Dehuai despised him as a dreamer who dreamed of the unification of North and South Korea. He was a fine military person, but later he was detained for about 8 years during the Cultural Revolution, and in the end, he was almost tortured to death. Mao Zedong's 4th wife, Jiang Qing, hated him. His father was unable to stop Jiang Qing's rampage. Hello, everyone. My name is Mao Anqing. I am Mao Zedong's 2nd son. I was assaulted by a policeman while living on the street with my brother in Shanghai, and since then, I have been mentally unstable. I was always with my brother, both in Shanghai and at Interdome in Moscow. For me, who lost my mother at the age of 7, Mao Zedong, who was 1 year older than I and had a strong personality, was my only blood relative and was very important to me. It was a great shock to me that my brother was killed in the Korean War at the age of 28. At that time, I was in China, but I had been mentally ill and had been hospitalized in a psychiatric hospital in Dalian for a long time. I had an only son when I was 47 years old, but my father, Mao Zedong, had no interest in him and never met his grandson. My father was a great womanizer and had relationships with many women, but he had no interest in his family. He had 2 sons and 2 daughters, but all 4 of them lived unfortunate lives. My older brother was killed in the war while making egg fried rice, which became a hot topic in China for a while. The history of the Chinese Communist Party has been full of tragedies, but many people thought that it was a blessing that the system did not become hereditary like North Korea because of this egg fried rice. After Mao's death, there was a period when egg fried rice was highly praised. It was a sad event for me. However, my father, Mao Zedong, had no love for his two sons, so I think there was no possibility of such hereditary succession. I died at the age of 82 in a hospital in Beijing. It was in 2007. The death of Mao Zedong's second son was hardly news at all. You can read more about this on Kitan Club, the site that runs this account. Search for the hashtag Kitan Club or kitan-stories.com and come to the homepage. Thank you.
Kitan Club invites you into mysterious stories. Click the link in our profile or search kitan-stories.com. We look forward to your visit and will provide you with free samples. Please click like and subscribe.